Hey guys, Geek here. Welcome to episode number 2 of the British Tea Party podcast. We've had a little bit of a break in between them, but we are back with the awesome. Let's start with Crazy Randoms. How are you doing today?
How are you doing? I'm annoyed, I'm great, I'm cold, and it's windy. Very, very windy.
I'm annoyed, but I'm great.
I'm annoyed, but I'm great. Just got a new mouse. I've got to be great.
Okay.
My headset didn't come in my package, though, so I'm annoyed at that as well.
Right, the first complaint of the podcast there. So
Taking 4.2 seconds.
Yeah, not taking long at all. So Edson, any complaints at all?
No, I'm not going to complain. I'll leave that to Crazy.
Cool. Right then, so we started a bit late on the live stream, so apologies to everyone on the live stream who we kept waiting. We had some technical issues. My issues got resolved, and then Crazy had his own issues as well. So that was
trying to fix GG's issues.
Don't blame it on me. Don't blame
because I opened the settings tab in Chrome, my computer decided to die.
If settings is what pushes your computer over the edge, then I'm sorry, then I can't really do much about that. That's your own fault. Right then, okay, so in order to speed up time, we haven't got a mass amount of things to talk about, but we have got some interesting topics, which hopefully we can share with you. So let's start off with the first one. Okay, the first one is, I don't know if you guys knew about this before I posted the article, it's to do with the Minecraft movie that's been made. You guys heard about the Minecraft movie that's going to be made?
Yes.
Heard about it.
Yeah, so there's been a bit of there was a bit of a dilemma on the internet towards, who would be starring in it, who's going to be directing it. However, one question has been answered. They have found a director. The director is Sean Levi, who was the director for, the biggest film he directed was Night of the Museum. So,
is it like Facebook? That social media film? That really bad movie about Facebook?
It wasn't that bad. It was alright.
I still haven't watched it.
I thought it was alright, actually, considering...
I haven't finished watching it. That's the thing.
Oh, well,
sucked.
You can't really... Don't judge a film until you've watched the end of it.
If I can't get to the end, then the movie's not worth watching.
It's your own fault, right? Anyway, so yeah, he's going to be the director of it. It's not going to be like the social media movie. We don't know exactly what it's going to be. We don't know how it's going to actually work out, but most guesses are saying that it's either going to be fully animated or it's going to be sort of one of those films that sort of is half real, half animated. Obviously, they couldn't do it a lot, in real life. Thing, it wouldn't work out at all. Imagine how pathetic it would be, like people dressed up as like Minecraft characters.
Yep, that would be bad.
I don't even know how they can physically do this. Like, there's already the closest thing to a movie on Minecraft at the moment is probably stuff that the animators have done. Like,
it's going to be animated. I guarantee it. It'll be animated.
A Noob's Adventure. What is it? You know the one?
Oh, possibly. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on Machimina and then it's on Happy Hour and then they're on like 26. That's good. I watched every single one of them up to now. It's like 6 months apart from each one, but hey, combine all them, you've got a pretty good movie. You've also got an Egg's Guide to Minecraft, which has nothing to do with Minecraft, more about an egg. But that's good. I like that. It's like they're good. If they follow the same regime as that, then yeah, probably great. Probably be great.
Okay.
I honestly think it'll be animated, 100%. There's no I don't see it working any other way, and quite a lot of people within sort of Minecraft or that knows about it just say the exact same thing. Like, unless it's animated, it's not going to work, and it will work as animated movie. It will do really well.
Yeah, I mean, the guys have some really good films. I mean, some of the films listed on here is Real Street, Just Married, Cheaper by the Dozen, The Pink Panther, Night of the Museum, Date Night, The Internship. There's a few things there. I mean, his films have grossed, as it says in the article here, $2 billion worldwide. So, I mean, they're good films, and I mean, hopefully, I think it's a good mix here. You've got sort of a director who isn't so big that the pressure is massive, and it's gonna put a needed extra pressure on the film to be really good. And it's a director still that has had his own success and made some really good films as well. So someone who knows what they're doing. But yeah, I think if it was a really big director name, I think it would just be a bit too much, a bit overkill, and the film probably wouldn't do anywhere near the sort of hype it would probably build up because of it.
He's done a good mix as well
of
films.
Yeah,
by the looks
definitely.
of it.
I mean, the really interesting is obviously you guys have seen Night of the Museum, yeah?
Yep.
And Night of the Museum is a film that has both sort of like actors, and it also has a bit of sort of it's sort of a bit of animation, a bit of sort of of the characters come to life.
Yeah,
Obviously,
so
they're not
he's
real
dealt with
characters.
this sort of stuff before.
So yeah, he's worked with things that are similar. I'm not saying it's going to be the exact same sort of thing, but it's similar before, which is always good. So yeah, any of you guys got any thoughts? Anything you want to add to that?
No,
I'll
not really.
watch
Like,
Would you guys
honestly
watch
think
it?
it's going to be animated. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
watch
watch
it.
it.
I definitely think I'd say it. So
Got to.
now, I've been a little bit bad. I haven't gone over our sponsor for the episode, which has been the sponsor for the episode so far, so I should probably go over it right now. Our sponsor is Go Buffoon. They specialize in everything GoPro, whether you want to rent or buy. If you use the discount code BR10, you'll get 10% off your order. Like I said, hire is also available, so if you do want to just use it for a certain project, or if you're going on holiday, maybe a really sort of action-packed holiday, and surfing, whatever it is you're doing in some sort of extreme sport, you can hire it for the period you're going out there. They also have lots of different mounts, where, like I said, surfing mounts, head mounts, chest mounts, lots of different type of mounts depending on what you want to use it for. You can hire them, and if you do order over £150 worth of stuff, you will get free, very secure. Next day, I think it is delivery, but don't count my word on that. So there we are, BR10 for 10% off your order. They are the best place to go for everything GoPro, and thank you to them for sponsoring the episode.
I may have to go there because a certain picnic is coming up at some point.
Yeah,
They need some kind of equipment.
Let's not say too much just yet.
Little picnic.
Yeah, just an explosive picnic.
Yeah, it's gonna end in tears, picnic.
Mm.
But tea will be spilt. Tea will be spilt.
Tea will be spilled,
Yeah.
and people will pay. So just
It's gonna be
somebody.
good. It's gonna be good, guys. It's gonna be good when we finally get around to organising it.
Yeah.
Anyway, as we move on, so I don't know if you've managed to read this, Crazy, but I know Edson was reading this as we were trying to sort out some of the bugs. The Surgeon Simulator
This should be just the rest of the show. This is it.
Yes, it might be my game off whenever this is released. Surgeon Sim Dev reveals I Am Bread. It is a game that has a slapstick physics sort of gameplay, and it's made by the game developers Bosa Studios, who did Surgeon Sim and had a lot of success with it. The bread must climb walls, fling itself around, and manipulate the environment in a desperate bid to increase its deliciousness while maintaining its edibility. Bosa did not announce a release date or planned platforms for the game. And there we are. So there's a trailer. I'll link this into the chat for you guys in the chat. It'll also be in the description of the video if you guys are watching on YouTube. It's going to be one of those sort of do not take this seriously sort of game.
And you should watch this trailer because it is
trailer. Yeah, definitely.
You will want this game after watching the trailer.
Yes, for sure.
No, I didn't like. I'm not even going to say because I'll just get killed another offensive way.
Why? What were you going to say?
I didn't like Goat Simulator.
I mean, it's fun, but it's got like a lifespan, and I
enjoyed watching somebody else play it, and that was it.
Like all of these simulator games, they've all got lifespans.
They have, definitely.
And they're very short.
Yeah.
Once you've played them a lot, like I don't know, put like 10 hours into them.
No, right. Here's the thing, right? When I lived in Ireland, no word of a lie, at least 10 people, like within summertime, all asked me to install Surgeon Simulator 2014 to their machine. No, not Surgeon Simulator. Sorry, Farming Simulator.
Right.
Farming Simulator. It's a game where you drive tractors. It's like, what is it with simulator games? And there's something about them simulator games that have kind of grown into culture of today, and it's really annoying when somebody says, insert word, Simulator 2014. Something that, like, staring at a wall, Simulator 2014.
Key simulator I've seen on Kickstarter.
You say it all the time.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I never.
We've done live streams, and you say something Simulator 2014, and I'm like, oh, fuck off.
Wait, so your sort of like thing with these games is not that it's a bad game. It's just because
it's a bad game. It's because like everybody's making a simulator of everything. And that's the funny
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, okay, there's a surgeon simulator, a goat simulator, a truck simulator, tractor simulator. All
There's
these.
definitely a trend.
There's a big difference. There's two kinds of these simulator games. There's the ones that are not meant to be taken seriously.
And ones that are meant to be. Yeah.
Surgeon simulator.
Yeah, like goat simulator is a piss take.
This one, the bread one.
Yeah,
but then
I just watched the trailer, and I am not gonna do anything with this. I mean,
then there's the serious ones that are meant to be serious, which are just terrible. Which is the train,
and I think
tractor,
the terrible ones
and lorry.
Euro Truck Simulator looked actually quite good. I'd have played that. I drove cross country. Why not? But the people who are taking simulators seriously, like actual driving simulators and stuff like that, now have to deal with buffoons, not go buffoons, just buffoons.
Yeah, not
That say
affiliated.
simulator, and then a year after everything. After everything. It's like I'm walking to the shop, Simulator 2014. And like, no! Just stop it. Stop trending these stupid things.
There we are. Rant number 2 so far by.
We need
Adams
a
there.
If that's only the second run, that's not too bad.
No.
Yeah, we need a
All right.
ding
Normally
every
it's about
time
7
I
by
rant.
now.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, there's more. Oh, good. Okay.
I'm holding my tongue.
He's biting his tongue. He'll say it for later, so stay tuned for more rants. We'll tune in with that later. So the next one, talking about simulators. This is a serious simulator, Project Cars. I saw this at Eurogamer Expo earlier this year, and it's looking beautiful. I saw some screenshots from PC on Reddit also a few days ago, and man, that game is looking amazing on PC. Jesus, like people I showed it to were like, "Hang on, this is real life photos," right? I was like, "No, this is in game," and these were a genuine in game photos, and they're looking fantastic. However, it's going to be delayed till March 2015, which is a little bit sad. However, it is really trending at the moment that games are getting delayed. I don't know why they ever even say release dates anymore. They might as well just wait till the month before and go, yeah, it's going to be this date, because like everything gets delayed all the time.
Yeah, and unless it's like I don't know, like one of the AAA titles, it normally just gets delayed.
Yeah.
Just I don't get why people put release dates down.
Yeah, everything gets delayed all the time. It's just common practice. So
The hype.
Yeah.
To get the hype, because they're like, oh, and everyone's like, what is this game that's not being
Is
released?
there actual gameplay from this?
There is.
Fair
I think
enough.
so. I'm pretty sure there is. There's gameplay on the... There isn't gameplay on the page. There is gameplay, I'm pretty sure, out there.
Alright, I'll have to have a look at it.
Yeah, it was
From
playable...
the screenshots, it looks very, very realistic.
Oh, it looks fantastic. I mean, it started off as a sort of like indie mod style thing, from what I remember, on the PC, and then a lot of people loved how it looked. I think it raised a lot of money, and then it sort of became now a console and PC thing. Yeah, so it was on PS4 at Eurogamer Expo, but it wasn't obviously what you're going to see it on PC if you push everything up. But I can imagine it's going to look fantastic. Yeah, Ollie makes a good point. I mean, you can never tell
I was just about to say that.
screenshots. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we can never completely tell, but I mean, lots of things we've seen have sort of supported look good. I mean, even on PS4, it did look fantastic. I mean, in the graphics detail.
It's very difficult to make a racing game look bad now. Like, you look at Forza, they've been doing it since the end of PS3 and Xbox. Like, their cycles. Like, Forza were just making it on the Xbox. Even on the Xbox, they were making it look awesome. And then when it came to...
rant.
Well, alright, but when it came to, like, Xbox One, when they released... is it Forza that they released?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's like, and all racing games on the Xbox One that I've seen, and all the games that have been released since next gen, just look awesome. It's very difficult to make them actually look bad now. So yeah, they're the first games that have really looked next gen to me, especially on the consoles.
As a child, my main gaming thing was racing games. It was always racing games. Need for Speed. We'll start with Crash Bandicoot, but that's not the point. Yeah. I love how the graphics for driving games are getting so intense. Like, they're beautiful. The cars are actually like cars. They've got reflective patterns. They've got nice body shapes. Everything's realistic looking. And with that comes realistic driving. And that's not what I like in a racing game. I remember Need for Speed Underground 2, you'd be able to take a corner at 170, smack into the wall, and just follow the wall round. And you'd always win your races. It was a lot of fun. Like, just pedal to the metal, get around as fast as you can, don't mind crashing into things, just keep going. But now, it's all, like, you can't turn corners. If you're going fast, the car acts like it's going like a real car, and I guess that's good for everybody. Everybody wants like realistic, but I also want to see some games that still have that mentality of I want to go around that corner at 200 miles an hour, and I just want to turn, and the car turns. I don't want it to slowly veer, because that's what a real car would do. I want it to be Need for Speed Underground, or Underground 2, or I want Need for Speed Most Wanted, but updated graphics.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I get that.
The best, like, I see what you mean. Like, it's gone from like arcade racing to super realistic racing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
People want balance. And the last game I remember that was my favorite racing game was PGR4. That was the perfect like arcadey style. But the one that had the balance between the two, like arcade and realistic, was Grid. And that was like the last one that I've properly played, like the last racing game.
Mm.
And ever since then, I've not bothered about them because they're too realistic. And like you say, I prefer an arcade racer.
Yeah, that's it. Like I see all these trailers and I'm like, that looks fantastic, but it's gonna make me rage so much.
Yep, I won't be getting it.
No,
I don't get any racing games because unless it's an arcade one.
Yeah, they've got driving lines that you have to follow to the T. You actually have to brake when it tells you to brake and all that rubbish. And you can't make corners like you want to make a corner. In a car, in a racing game, you want to be doing over 60 on a corner.
Yep.
In a driving simulator, 2015, because that's what you do. We're getting to the point where things are going to start saying 15, even though it's 14. Like my AVG, for example, is 2015, but it's 14. That's a rant there. Ding. But yeah, it's a shame. Somebody needs to bring back a racing game with unrealistic.
I wanted PGR5. It's never going to happen, but I would just love that arcade game with next gen graphics. It'd be so good.
Would be good actually. That would be really good.
On the last thing on my racing games, do you know Need for Speed Underground 2?
Yeah.
The best thing about Need for Speed Underground 2 was customizing your cars.
Yep.
You'd have a boot with 50 subs in the back.
Yep.
That was the last attempt of it. Like, you can't do that anymore. There's no such thing as a neon light in a racing game.
No,
I love that game.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go back and play it. I think I'm gonna play it later on, just because I want to get the Supra I want to get the Peugeot 106 in orange and finish the game with that car and that car alone. Oh my god, that was the best. I've done that with every game. I've completed it just by unlocking the everyday car. Like, you get a new car, you end up with the best car, but then I'll replay the whole game, but with whatever car I buy first is the car I finish the game with. Makes it a lot harder.
True. That sounds pretty tricky, Crazy.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Get a bit crazy.
Yeah, and I always do it on hard as well. But these new games can do it.
Oh. Okay.
And not to mention, like, now because you can't do as much modification, that's physically impossible for me to do. Because I can't modify the cars, I can't actually make it any faster.
Yeah, I mean, modification is something the Need for Speed community has wanted for a long time. You see, like, I remember the trailers for, like, the remake of Most Wanted came out, and then every YouTube comment had, like, oh, we don't care about this, we just want full customization, does it have customization, And, like, videos were getting disliked, all the trailers were getting disliked because, like, there was no mention of, like, proper customization. So I know it's something the community really wants.
I can tell you what it is. It's because they have to get rights to use the cars in the game.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes they'll see a car with a slightly different name but looks like this car. So that's because they haven't got the rights to use that car.
Well, I mean,
and the companies said to the game, we don't want you to modify the cars to make it look like it's not our car. I was like, well, piss off.
Yeah. I think they should just go down the route that GTA do and just make cars with no badges.
Yeah, they should. They really should.
Why not?
Design your own.
I bet you were part
square
of
block and a chisel.
But you just don't have the badge.
I bet you're part of it, right? Is that I bet you Need for Speed gets some money for promoting certain car models.
Yeah, it is, no doubt. No doubt. They all do. Which one? Which is the PlayStation 4 equivalent to Forza?
Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo. Yeah, they get paid a ton.
Yeah, and
Red Bull sponsors them to hell.
See, they do the same sort of thing. Like, some cars, they refuse to do full damage on it because the car companies don't like it.
No, yeah, exactly. It's that indeed.
Yeah, talk about that. It's not really a topic, but they're saying that the new Gran Turismo will come out 2015, 2016. Probably going to be 2018, guys, in case you are looking forward to
it
Gran
won't.
Turismo.
They delay like no one's business.
They always delay.
I've never known a game delay as much as Gran Turismo.
Which one? Gran Turismo
6.
6. 5 came out at the end of the PlayStation 3's life.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, but it was supposed to come out like midway or something.
Yeah. Well, GTA 4 was supposed to be a release title for the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
But it never made it, obviously.
Well, GTA 5 was delayed as well.
No, GTA, sorry.
Yeah, you're saying GTA.
I can't,
GT.
What is it?
GT.
Yeah, GT. Gran Turismo. I'll just say I'll say full names. Gran Turismo. I always had that problem. I was like, my mum bought me the wrong one time. Like, you butthole. But yeah, I've lost my train of thought.
Next topic.
They should have waited. They should have waited and released it on the PS4. Smooshed the graphics, and there you go. GTA 5.
You're right.
Shit. GT5.
Come on, Crazy. Come on.
We'll get there eventually.
We'll get there
I'm
eventually.
sleepy and I need a drink.
I guess just a short sort of. Are we actually talking about? No, we're not talking about that next. Okay. We'll come back to that one. So the next thing I want to talk about, if I can find it, I put it here somewhere. Just wait a minute while I reopen the page. Just filled music.
Perfect transition.
Stuff. Great. So Google reveals Nexus Player set-top box. And it's gonna be interesting to see what CrazyRandomzZ thinks of this, because he was the one that wanted the Ouya back in the
But
time.
I never got it.
Yeah. Well, Google announces. Can I just give me a sec?
Yeah.
Google announces the Nexus Player on Wednesday. They announced it this Wednesday just gone. Its own TV set-top box with a focus on streaming video apps and games. So basically there will come some controller modifications. It's listed at the moment at $100, so it's going to be probably about £100. They don't really discount it, even though technically $100 is not £100. But it's going to be similar to things we've seen before, such as the Amazon Fire TV, which is done alright. But it's got, in terms of specs, you guys that do like to hear these sort of things, it's a pint-sized set-top box. I think it's round as far as I can see. It has a 1.8 GHz quad-core Intel Atom processor. It has the 802.11ac MIMO Wi-Fi, which is pretty decent. It should be decent because it has no Ethernet. It has HDMI out. It runs Android Lollipop, the latest version of Google's mobile operating system. And yeah, it's going to be pre-order available on October the 17th for North American, and November the 3rd release for North Americans. They've given no EU release or pre-order dates just yet. You have to buy the gamepad separately. Let me just say this out loud. So there we are.
What? Well, I'm sure it's because it's Android. You'll be able to control it with your phone.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, this is the point I want to bring up. Is there really a place for a box like this? Is there a reason for anyone to really want to buy it? I mean, you can't stream games to it. You have to play. If you're going to play any games, then you have to play Android games. We all know Android games on a bigger screen just suck.
Yeah, there's a reason that they're made for phones.
I mean, they're okay because you're playing them for a few minutes on your phone. You're not.
Yes, while you're
playing.
busy, I don't know, just waiting for something like a 2-minute break while waiting.
Yeah, because
They're not meant to be played on TV.
It's far more entertaining than sitting there doing nothing. That's why you play them, right?
This is from a gamer's perspective, though.
Yeah, but even from a like games perspective, right? If you're like one of those sort of social gamers or someone who plays games on your phone, are you going to want to then sit down in front of your TV screen and play the same games on a bigger screen? You'd have bought a game console if you wanted to sit in front of a big screen and play some games.
Roxanne, my girlfriend, would love to play Hay Day on the TV. She's actually commandeered my computer. I've installed BlueStacks, and she plays Hay Day on my PC.
I don't know. I just think it's
a technical person.
I think it's limited. There's like I don't think it's going to be as successful as they would want it to be. People will buy it, people use it, but not many.
What's underneath your TV right now?
Mine?
Like, imagine you're the average household. What is underneath your TV?
DVD or Blu-ray. Sky or Virgin box.
Mm-hmm. And one primary games console system.
Unless it's like a child that's got it, and then it's probably in their room. Yeah.
Yeah, like even the average family possibly still has a Wii underneath their TV. So they have a games console, a TV streaming service, a TV set-top box system, and a Blu-ray DVD player.
I'm not fancying
that's what everybody has.
PS3.
The only one out of that list that is failing to keep up with anything are the TV boxes. Like, have you used your Virgin Media box? Have you tried to use Netflix on that machine?
I've never had Virgin Media TV in a house.
I'm talking to Edson.
Oh,
Yes.
Sorry.
This is an elite. This is an elite
I'll
crew.
shut up now.
You have to shut up for a minute.
Yeah, I use it on that.
And how? Like, do you like it?
Well, it's because we don't have a console there to use Netflix on.
Yeah, no, but like in terms of like how it runs, it's slow. Like you go on a channel, press red. It takes a couple like 30 seconds to bring up, enter your pin. You enter your pin. It takes 30 seconds to bring up whether you want to be in the kids
It's
or
quite
the
quick for me. The only thing that like is not that quick is just the navigation because you're doing it on a remote rather than a controller. But the controller's still quite clunky if you're searching for something anyway.
It is.
Yeah, no, I'm not even about search, and it's not just my box. I thought it was just my box, but I went to the relative's house. They have it, also slow and clunky. Like it's
Mine's
just
really
slow and
fast.
responsive. You might have the mine's. I got my subscription the same time as you, roughly, like a
month ago.
Within a month. Like yeah, I moved in this house 3 months ago, so 2 months ago I got the box.
Yeah, mine was last month. I got mine.
Yeah, well, mine was a month before that. I doubt they've gave you a better box.
No.
No, it's a TiVo 500 something. I don't know. But I think these TV companies need to invest in better tech for their boxes. Like Sky has the most basic box ever.
Well, I mean, they've got iPlayer and stuff now.
Yeah, they've added that like as an optional extra that you plug in. But I think if TV services linked onto the internet industry and made their set-top box incorporated with Android as well, so it'd be amazing. You've got your remote that controls your TV, your Android. Like you can get a Facebook message while you're watching TV because it's through the natural TV. Like TV, like the TV providers. Seriously, that's if I was in the running business, I'd be all over it. I mean, it's not expensive. You can buy Android chips and Android tech that'll work, like mini chipsets. I think I purchased one. It's a little card, like a Raspberry Pi for anybody who knows, and you hook it up to your TV. You can install Android on it, not the Pi though. Pi is not good enough though. It was like 60 quid, and that's a huge cost, but. Virgin at one point, the TiVo box was an optional extra. You had to pay for the TiVo upgrade. So why can't we have a box that streams my TV and has integrated Android, or not even Android? They could make their own system.
I don't even think
Xbox One.
I just want Netflix to step up their game in UK and then just have just Netflix. I don't like TV.
That's why I did it. That's why I did in Ireland. I didn't pay for no TV subscription. I just had Netflix.
In this house currently, I don't have a T license. I just have Netflix. We use Netflix on an extra
I just wish
360
they
downstairs.
just stepped it up to the same level that they do with the US.
Yeah.
And I'd be willing to pay more, double, triple, probably.
Yeah, because it's not exactly expensive. And
No,
I'm
I'd pay triple for just the same stuff that the US gets.
Well, you got to wait. Like, there's a lot. The thing about TV is it's easy to find stuff. There are certain channels devoted to certain things.
True.
You know what you're going to get on BBC. You know what you're going to get on Dave.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to get on sports.
American people we've completely just like...
Yeah, completely lost at what I'm saying. But they're channel names, right? Like your ABC.
You're putting in, who's Dave? Who's this Dave guy?
Who's Dave? And there's Dave Javu and stuff like that. But yeah. It's like if you don't know what to watch, you'll find something that you might want to watch. You can just skim through. Netflix, on the other hand, you got to wade through 50 pages of crap, movies that you've never heard of, like movies from the 1940s and TV shows that got 0 reviews, and it's just why. Like, that's why I think
a bit over exaggerated.
I don't know. Like you don't. There's like the biggest draw to something on Netflix is its cover, and half the covers are like old and crap and rubbish. But I'm not knocking on Netflix. Netflix is amazing, but you need to know what you're going to watch before you go onto Netflix.
Yeah.
In most cases, I stand TV services need to up their game, incorporate something into my TV box that allows me to do more. And you'll take over any of these new things that are supposed to be TV box sets.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I see where you're coming from. I mean, it genuinely, I think, well, the whole video industry, TV industry needs a whole reconstruction. It needs to start from the beginning and work its way up again. I mean, there's lots of issues, especially in the British. But the issue is that, like, if you were a company making something, especially a larger company, you have so many different standards to every single country, every region of each country. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's difficult enough for things like the Xbox One to do like a companion thing that works with a box, because there are so many different standards. That's where a lot of the issues lie, is that there is no standard for TV. There's different ones by different companies. You know, Virgin will have their own in our country, Sky will have their own. You know, it's just ridiculous. That I think that's what causes a lot of issues and has complicated things for a lot longer than it would need to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that box is available if you're interested in it. Have a look. We'll put the link in the description. I'll put the link in the chat as well in a moment to anyone who wants to read more about that if you are interested. I mean, it's a cheap box if you do want to just have little things on there, play some films on there, etc., etc. If you don't have anything similar, so I suppose there are some uses for it. But you know, let's
random question.
What?
Random question. Random question.
Alright, fine.
Oh no.
Yes,
No, this is a serious
this
one.
is coming.
Serious one. As an adult, how do you make new friends? Because it's actually quite tricky. If you've an adult, you've left school, most of your original friends have moved on, settling down. You might have the one or two that's still a constant friend, but generally you're left to your own demise. Like, it's quite difficult to go out there and just meet new people.
Yeah.
I generally sit and watch when we go to the park and I see my daughters, they just walk up to some kid and voila, new best friends. Like, they're off. It's as easy as that. As an adult, you can't do that. I can't just walk up to somebody and be like, hey, how you doing? It's like, they'll think you're hitting on them. Like, if it's a woman. If it's a guy, they'll be like, why are you hitting on me? Same thing. I don't know. This is an issue for me because my friends are well and gone in the past. I don't really have friends anymore. 22, out of school, out of college, out of work. I did have friends, but moving around the country all the time, I'm literally just me. So making friends. Anything that you suggest?
For me, ever since like uni, everyone's stayed. Like, everyone's still here, so it's a bit different for me.
We're still on that page. I'll have to ask this question in a couple of years' time.
What I will say is the best probably answer I can give you. It's difficult, yeah, right? But I mean, possibly just getting involved in more things in the community might help. Go to different events and stuff going on. I mean, find something that's interesting. If there's something to do with PC building or technology stuff, I'm sure there's plenty of different things going on. If you find
for me, like the other areas that, like, outside of like possibly my old university friends, is work and rugby, and I've got loads of friends from that. So
can I just bring up something actually that she could just sort of reminded me of? Like, to Americans, this is something that's really strange. The fact that we generally don't talk to people very easily, and making conversation to people in the street isn't a normal thing. I mean, you looked at really weirdly, as Crazy said, and it's something that actually struck me when I was in LA for E3. I was on the tube or their metro. And every journey, someone would talk to me and we'd have a conversation. It was lovely. It was great. I had so many conversations, so many different people. Met, got to see a really different side of the area and what people think and stuff. And it was really interesting. That would never happen in the UK. That you'd never in the tube. No one would speak to you.
You do.
No one
you
would
do.
Speak
you
to
get that. I get that all the damn time. All the damn time. But it's not somebody you want to talk to. It's the hobo that stinks. The old woman who's slightly crazy. Just. All the time, I'm attracted, like weirdos. I am a freaking weird. Do you know that cheat in Grand Theft Auto 3? Vice City, that just all the hobos attracted to you and followed you around all the time? That's freaking me. Somebody turned that cheat on.
That's crazy on the tube.
Yeah, I'm stood on a bus stop and people just think, oh, there's another tramp. Let's go say hi. It's like, bloody hell. So,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
that just does not happen in the UK.
it just generally brings me back to the point that, you know, Americans generally, you guys are more open and will just talk and say or speak your mind a lot easier than I think British people with. I mean, we're far too polite to say what we think. We'll rather just keep it to ourselves, but get very frustrated at the same time. I mean, yeah, we don't really openly communicate, and it is a lot of it an issue with our community. I think generally, I think it's caused a lot of the community to start to close down, and things don't happen. I mean, America's community is probably far more active. There's more things going on. They talk a lot more, and you know, and just speak to random strangers. I mean, I had a guy in the street that she just stopped me and just asked me like, you know, are you from the UK or whatever, and then asked me questions. Really nice guy, and he was just like, you know, I just had a brief conversation. I was on my way, and it felt, you know, pretty weird. But you'd never ever get that in the UK. That just doesn't happen.
Nope. It's
In
either
all
like,
cases-
what are you trying to sell me, or
Yeah.
are you crazy?
Yeah,
Yeah, in the UK, a lot of people don't want that either.
yeah.
Because
we're so used to not having confrontation that we don't have to deal with confrontation.
yeah, no, we just like to dawdle on our way and get on with our day. But
Yeah.
when somebody stops you, it's kind of like no, and you just have to awkwardly continue with the conversation that you're not sure about. If you're an open person, you can get into it. Like Gigi, you're obviously an open person. Somebody comes and talks to you, you'd be happy to talk. But in Ireland, it's the same. Everybody says hi.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been.
Every-
Yeah. I remember
everybody
when I
says
went.
hi. And
Everyone says hi.
I'm an English
Because they're all drunk.
Probably, like, they all recognize me somehow. But I own a computer shop. I'm the only, like, in a small town, everybody knows that I'm the computer guy. Everybody has to say hello to me, but I'm English. Leave me the fuck alone.
So there we are. That's our brief little segment, and now we've got a brief little sort of topic segment. I'm only going to really quickly just to update you guys. We're not really going to talk about it. New PlayStation Store sale includes big Battlefield savings at the moment. You can get Battlefield 4 for the PlayStation 4 for about $24.99, which is a really good price considering what it was before, and all the PS4 DLC. You can also now get PS3 version of Battlefield 4 for £20, which is really good. You can see the other prices for your country. I'm just going to the UK prices. They've discounted all the DLC through Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, and there's some other deals going on in the store as well, which you can check out if you are interested. Nothing really much of interest. A couple of games on Vita, which are now about a couple of quid or so, but apart from that, there's nothing much. But I thought I'd just share that really quickly for you guys that want to get Battlefield 4 or are just interested in those sort of things in general. So there we are. There's not much really to talk about there. Don't think we can start a conversation on discounts.
Nope.
So, Crazy, are you here still?
I was about to say we kind of need him for this one.
We do. I was relying on this
You want
one.
to do the last one first?
Yeah, I'm going to come back. Okay, so Apple events. That happened in October, which is recently. Well, I'm saying it happened in October. It happened a few days ago, okay?
Quite a lot of people didn't even know this went down. I didn't until like the day after.
I didn't know about it until the day as well. I'm going to scale over the sort of, I feel, the less important thing, the iPad stuff, because it's just incremental updates. Apple revealed 2 new tablets, the iPad Air 2 and the iPad Mini 3, at 6.1 millimeters thick and weighs less than a pound. It is the thinnest tablet in the world, the iPad Air 2 I'm talking about now at the moment. The iPad Air 2 is powered by Apple's A8X chip, which powers 40% improvement and 2.5 times the graphics performance from the predecessor, boosting improved camera battery life. It gets battery life up to 10 hours, better camera, all that good stuff as we've seen. Combined with their new software changes with Metal, which helps the graphics technology, so developers can get better graphics performance out of things. It will probably perform a bit like a beast in the mobile gaming world. It is actually faster than the in terms of general graphics stuff. It's faster than the new iPhones as well, which is quite interesting. And it has something that people have been asking for a while. Finally, the new iPads have the Touch ID sensor, which once you come to use all the time, it's difficult to live without. You start tapping the button on your iPad or whatever, and it doesn't work. So it's nice to have that. Customers in 29 countries can now pre-order both devices online ahead of their arrival beginning this coming week. So there we are. But just a little bit of news to the iPhone 6. Their sales exceeded 10 million units in 3 days of availability. So it's apparently the best iPhone launch ever.
Not surprised.
No, not surprised. So yeah, the main reason I brought up this topic is I want to talk about the other thing that announced, which I think is far more awesome to talk about, is the new iMac, which has a 5K Retina display. So we are talking a resolution, 5K.
That my eyes can't even see.
The resolution, I'm trying to find what it was. I wish it would say now. It's a 27-inch display. They have also updated things under the hood. It's got a. It starts off at an i5 and you can configure it up highest. 3.5 gigahertz i5 goes all the way up to a 4 gigahertz i7. Has their new terabyte Fusion drive, which has an SSD and a hard drive, and the operating system will move commonly used programs and files onto the SSD to increase performance. The iMac is still remaining very, very thin, 5mm to be exact, and the machine will start at $2,000, as you can imagine, because of this Retina screen is going to be very expensive. To be fair, I don't think $2,000 is that £2,000 is that expensive for getting a PC and a 5K Retina display. I mean, how expensive are these 4K TVs at the moment? They're ridiculously expensive.
Yeah. There's like I don't even like I don't even look at them because they're too expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the 5K, that is just crazy.
I mean, basically they've designed it. Why 5K? A lot of you probably are asking. They've done 5K because then people who now want to edit 4K stuff in order for them to help push for their industry professionals who want to use 4K. In terms of video making, you could have, by having 5K, you could actually work properly with a 4K video editing preview window and still have room for your timeline and things like that as well when you're editing. So you could actually natively edit in 4K. Otherwise, if it's just a 4K monitor, you'd have to have a separate 4K monitor just to show the footage, and obviously that's ridiculously expensive to do, for that alone.
Then that's good. That's good. Because quite a lot of people, like I know quite a lot of video editors, and they stress when they're doing 4K stuff.
Yeah.
So I hope. Well, I'm guessing a few of them will be getting these.
I'm not even in 1080 yet. Jeez.
It's so the resolution is 5120 by 2880. It has 67% more pixels than a 4K display. So
At what point are we not going to be able to notice the difference? I mean, come on.
Know.
I mean, to see the difference, I'm going to have to stick a microscope on the damn screen. Like, I remember.
I stopped caring after they went I don't know, the people that were talking about HD and Blu-ray, like the difference between HD and Blu-ray for me is meh. And after that, I'm just any more upgrades is just. It doesn't really affect me that much.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, it's the same sort of discussion I was having with someone recently about sort of these new HD, like Ultra HD phones. It seems like there's a race in the moment for like portable devices to have like bigger and higher resolution screens and stuff, and it's just like after like a certain after 1080p, are you really noticing it on a size like the screen that's that small?
Exactly.
Are you really noticing it? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're not noticing it at all, and that's the thing. Like after you've got to HD on whatever you're on, HD or Blu-ray, like that's it. That's it for me.
Well, no, if you stand next to a 1080p TV and a 4K TV, you can see the difference.
Oh, definitely.
You can see the difference, but it's not big enough for me to even care one bit.
Yeah, I mean,
and the thing is, though, that image that 4K display is showing is a 4K image. 90% of the TV I'm watching, or anything that I'm watching, is not 4K.
I mean,
and not designed for 4K either.
At least now, obviously the Mac OS operating system, people on Mac, they will have 4K support. They'll have proper support. I mean, Windows doesn't natively support 4K properly. A lot of the scaling, text scaling, and icon scaling, I know for people who've used them, are really bad. Like some of the icons look horrendous and stuff because they haven't scaled it properly. So, I mean, at least they'll have an operating system that supports it and works really well. And it's still not a really, I don't think a feasible gaming solution for 4K. I mean, to get a graphics card to support it at a high enough frame rate is just bad enough.
I would say, have you guys seen any animation in 4K? Like you know these like animated films. Have you seen them like show like previews in 4K? Because they actually look really good.
I'm going to tell you what is really good.
Go on then.
4K porn.
Oh my god.
Like, it doesn't even turn you on. It's not the kind of porn you look at to get a certain action done. 4K porn...
Would you like a shovel?
No, 4K porn is you the only thing you're thinking of is, wow, look at that detail.
This
No,
is a new low.
nothing else.
This is a new low for you.
No, no. I googled it. So everybody was saying, like, there's a Reddit thread and saying, wow, 4K porn, 4K porn. So I googled 4K porn. My monitor isn't even 4K, and I could tell the difference.
Well, yeah, still, if you watch for like even 1440p on YouTube, the people that support you can notice a difference even if your monitor's 1080p. I mean, because
Yeah, so imagine what it'd be like if I had a 14 4K.
mainly because the bitrate has to be higher anyway, so it's a far better 1080p you're experiencing because the bitrate has to be higher for higher resolutions.
There you have it.
Next
The
topic.
chat explains everything here. Next topic, right? Crazy, we held
Matt,
this one back
next
for
topic.
you. We held this one back for you. The last
Yeah,
one we
we
have
did.
here, I think. Fable Legends beta has kicked off, and you don't even have
Wasn't
an Xbox One.
invited.
Huh?
So I asked to be in, wasn't invited.
You don't even have an Xbox One.
Doesn't matter.
So,
I wanted a beta code.
the first wave of invites have been sent out. Lionhead Studios says, we're inviting fans to help out test the game as early in the development process as possible. Not only do we want your help with identifying bugs, glitches and crashes, we also want to hear your ideas, feedback and suggestion. Ultimately, we hope to have a significant portion of our registrants in-game before we leave closed beta.
Just checking my emails. They've sent me an email, actually.
Have they? Oh, live on stream.
But do you not have an Xbox One?
Yeah, he doesn't have an Xbox One. So this is the
No, I
most...
don't have an Xbox One.
Do you have an
It's
invite?
just... Yeah, I have an invite.
Oh.
Anybody
That was the most pointless thing in the world.
I really want it.
But you don't have an Xbox One, Crazy.
Got my beta code.
Yeah, GG, you have an Xbox One, don't you?
Yeah.
And I do too. Crazy, do you have one?
No.
Oh no.
It's crazy. Someone say that was random.
But I'm such a Fable...
I just wanted to say I had the code.
Yeah, I just want to say I have the code, like,
Oh my god.
and then I'm gonna give it to somebody who actually wants it. No, I don't. Oh.
So
I just activated my wrong game attack as well.
we are at the end of we are at the end of our main news topic questions. However, I did see a couple of questions in the chat over the time. If you guys want to ask any Q&A, we'll finish with a quick Q&A. So guys, really quickly, if you've got any questions, type them in. Please make them appropriate. One question I did see in here, we've talked about it a few times. I just want to brush over. Crazy, could you help brush over this? How did we all meet?
Ooh.
For the new people who don't know.
Right, it starts.
Here we go. Get your blanket. Sit down.
Get your tea. Get your tea.
Yeah, get your tea.
Well, I couldn't give you days, but
Yeah.
it was a couple of years ago. I don't like. It started with Pionic Field Trip and me. Well, I was watching his videos, and I'd recently just came back into YouTube, or was planning on going back into YouTube, and I decided to purchase a server, rent a server at least,
Yeah.
and we were going to play The Dropper, a Minecraft adventure game. So we did a couple of episodes, and we decided to invite some people in. So we ran some interviews on who we want in. Third interview in, I believe it was second interview in, Mr. Gaming Geek here just like comes in with
This
his all
dude.
professional microphone.
This
His intro line was "I met Syndicate."
Was that actually?
Yeah,
I don't remember this.
yeah, it was just after Eurogamer.
I threw
won
down the
their-
names, guys. I threw down the names.
Yeah, and you had a picture with Syndicate.
I did.
That was your resume to join the Dropper quest. Not to
Yeah.
mention you were knowledgeable on Doctor Who, because that was my question. Do you like Doctor Who?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
said
that was a question. If I didn't know Doctor Who, I was screwed at that point.
Yeah, and well, he had the professional era. I mean, the other guy, no offense to him, wasn't YouTube ready. You know, he didn't have the characteristics for it. He was too bland. His questions were one-word answers. You know, the kind of thing you don't want as a guest on a radio show. The
Yep.
nope, yep,
Yeah,
nope.
that's horrible.
Yeah, whereas you need to be in there, you need to be enthusiastic, you need to be active. And GG ticked all the boxes, so we didn't interview anyone else, and we played that from then on. Yeah,
It's a creepy
and yeah, as you said briefly, so that's the start. That's where it starts. Then we meet Arian through Pionic again. We played a lot of Call of Duty together.
Yeah.
Black Ops 2, a lot of Black Ops 2 together.
Zombies mainly.
Yeah, zombies, yeah, and a lot of sticks and stones.
Yeah.
And we all came to some... Well, I suggested making another channel where we do collab videos.
Yeah, we were playing Call of Duty. I remember the time we were playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2, probably a Sticks and Stones match, and you said to me, look, I want to do this sort of like show where we just talk about, you know, different newsy type stuff, just make it a little short thing, and we just put it on a different YouTube channel. Because I'd already been thinking about something similar as well, because I just met up with this group of guys, getting on with them quite well, and I'd always sort of wanted to do a sort of podcast about things. So I was like, look, why don't we just make a podcast? And let's group it on a different channel. Why don't we put it on our own? I mean, our channels weren't big enough to help promote a new channel, and it would just mean extra work. So why don't we just have our own channels that produce a podcast together?
Yeah, and we all kicked for it. We kicked off to a good start. Unfortunately, Pionic left us. He didn't know what to say.
I don't think his heart was in it, really.
No, his heart wasn't in it most of the time, but he did feel like he didn't know what to say. He was mostly silent throughout the podcast. So in the early episodes, you'll notice he's there, but he's not there.
I mean, like, we all have different styles to YouTube. I mean, his is more the entertainment sort of style thing. He does do some tutorial stuff now, but he's more the entertainment style. I mean, I largely at the time, like, what some of my bigger series and stuff I've been working on have all been newsy type stuff, and I still try and do quite a bit of newsy type stuff as well, because I feel like it's something I like to keep up to date with, and I run gaming news websites, so I think something like when talking about news is something I'm very, very used to doing, and I felt that, you know, I think that some of us that also could talk about it sort of, you know, made it difficult for others maybe too.
Edson, how did you get on the show?
Yeah, I can't remember.
I remember it wasn't too long after like Pionic stopped sort of with the whole podcast thing, and it was, I think the only person I knew of was GG.
I came to you. Was it were you part of Makeup at the time? Sorry.
Yeah,
RPM.
and you were doing. I think it was a Black Ops 2 live stream, and then I joined. I think, and then because you needed one more. I
messaged you on the forums, didn't I? On the RPM forums.
I honestly can't remember that, but like the first time I remember speaking was the like league play, because you only had 3, and you needed a 4, and then I was like, I'm watching, I'll do it. And then from then on out, I think you had me in on one of them, and then from there on,
we kind of grew on Edson. Edson grew. Yeah, there we go.
We grew on Edson.
We grew on Edson. Yeah.
You've come out with some weird stuff.
I do. It's crazy.
Oh my god. Right, yeah, so there we are. Brief story. We then all disappeared for a while. Did our own thing, and now we're back. Short. That's my shortened ending for you. Shit happened. And then came back.
It's still happening.
Sure.
We're missing 2 of the hosts.
I mean, it'd be a real good thing if 1, we can have no technical issues, and 2, can actually do it week in, week out without ever missing one, because we're failing at that at the moment, but we're trying our best to.
Not me. I'm always here.
I know.
No, it's always Crazy's fault.
It's crazy.
What?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah. Don't listen to him.
Nah.
So yes, when I asked, do you like bacon? But I mean, Edson.
Yes.
Edson answers that question.
Yeah.
Randoms,
A lot.
randoms. Please say yes.
What?
Oh, for God's sake, bacon.
Bacon.
Yes.
I like bacon. I love bacon.
Good. There we are. That sounds to someone else.
Fucking wrap it in bacon.
There we are.
Everything.
Cool. That's fine. That's enough crazy.
Yeah, put bacon inside bacon.
Oh, he's going off on one.
I've just face palmed. There we are. Right.
You know, chicken.
Guys, have you got any more questions? Have you got any more questions, guys? Quick.
You crazy.
Guys in the stream, I just want to know. Do you want to try and break up the topics a little bit so that it's about gaming and about the hosts? Because at the moment we're sticking primarily to the gaming news and gaming related news. Do you want to chuck some real life news in there? Like if we can put in some tit wobbling people.
Also on the comment section of this video as well. I am going to wrap up the podcast.
Yeah, no, if you want to ask any questions, ask in the YouTube video, not in the stream, because the stream's going to end in a minute and that's it. This question's gone. It'll be forgotten by next week. Put it in the comments of GG's video
for next week. Yeah.
And we'll try and answer the questions for you if you have anything. But let me know. Do you want to put in some what happens in our live topics as well?
Yeah.
Like, because if you want to know more about us, put it in the comments.
Yeah. Right, so guys, I am going to wrap up the recording here for guys on YouTube. I'll keep going on the stream for a little bit. If you guys want to ask some questions, I'll have sort of like a after party style thing. But guys, on the YouTube video, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed this episode of the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to everyone's channels down below. That is Crazy Randoms.
Almost at 200, and at 200,
Let's get
I
him to
got
200
something
for the
special.
next podcast, guys. Come on, let's go and do
I've
it.
got
Go and
something
subscribe
super special
right now. If you're not hitting that subscribe button, you're doing something wrong. Right, Edson, thank you, man, for being on here, and I hope
It's been a pleasure.
we'll see you next week.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you guys for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, to subscribe to those guys. We'll see you guys on the next video. As always, drink tea and game on.